Hey guys, Rocket Rob here today, and we are going to be looking at the top 5 1MP figures in the game at the moment. Now, most people would say that 1MP figures are generally the least used figures in the game because of the hindrance of only being able to move one space at a time. But a lot of these figures have good abilities that can overcome that issue and make them worthwhile in your deck. So today we're going to be looking at the top 5 that really do get used in a lot of decks these days. And we're starting that with, where is it? The number 5 spot is Celesteela. Now, Celesteela is really great in an Ultra Beast deck. It's a really cool figure, actually. I really like its base, what it looks like. UX figure. And it's got, it doesn't hit that hard, but it's got this really cool ability that on its first attack, Flamethrower actually turns into a flame gun, which can knock out 2 Pokemon, the battle opponent and the Pokemon behind it as well, which is really cool. But the biggest thing about this is definitely its Rendezvous. So that Rendezvous can bring itself and its opponent to the Ultra Space. When combined with other Ultra Beasts, this is incredible. Like if you've got a Pheromosa, for instance, that's going to be moving for 4 MP now, and then it can bring the Celesteela back, and it can do it all over again until your opponent's left with pretty much nothing. It's got Fly there as well, so it can be, you've got to be a bit careful. And it has this other ability here as well, which is really, really useful, where it can basically slingshot Pokemon next to it. So it sends itself to the Ultra Space, and an adjacent figure will move 3 MP away. So it's really a great support figure. On its own, it's not that useful. If you don't have the other Ultra Beasts to back it up, it's not worth running. But in the right deck, this figure is really, really good. Next, we're going to move on to Rayquaza, which is pretty good. Like, it's got a 140 gold that takes up a huge chunk of the wheel. In fact, it almost takes up 50% of the wheel once you level up to level 10. And it also has that Fly as well, which sometimes can be a hindrance, but sometimes can give you a nice, easy cheese win. And the ability to evolve into Mega Ray, which is a beast as well. He's zero miss there, and yeah, it hits really hard. If you use a Dragon Sphere on this, it has 2 MP and can move through figures. That's the ability of all Dragon types that are 1 MP. If you have a Dragon Sphere, they will be increased to 2 with the ability to move through figures, which is really, really good. And after it devolves from Mega Ray, it actually gets a new attack. That Break Energy becomes another attack that hits for 90 as well, which is pretty cool. So that is number 4. In number 3 is actually, where are you? We've got Shiny Ray, which is basically the same thing, but it has a better ability. It can be 2 MP straight off the bench, so you don't actually need the Dragon Sphere for it. You still would like it after it gets onto the field, but it can move straight off the bench to a space. Well, basically, it's got 2 MP off the bench. And your Pokemon do not move to the Ultra Space. So, for instance, if Celesteela, who we just looked at, rolled blue, and you had Shiny Ray on the field, your figure won't go to the Ultra Space, only the Celesteela will. So, yeah, pretty awesome. So that's number 3. Number 2, we have the new EX Steelix, which, it's great, really good figure. It hits for 170, absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. And if it hits the Rock Polish, it's actually going to turn that 170 into a gold for the next move, which is really cool. It can also, even if your entry points are covered, it's like a built-in long throw. This figure can jump to a point 1 step away from your entry point instead of the move, which is really, really useful. You may move this Pokemon through to an adjacent Pokemon. So basically, if you're sitting next to your opponent, you can hop over your opponent. It's like a built-in hurdle jump as well. It has a lot of built-in effects, this one, so it really makes up for its lack of MP here. And an absolutely amazing Mega that can't be surrounded, that hits for 180, that has a similar ability, but it's even better because it can go 2 spaces away. Yeah, this thing is freaking awesome. So Steelix, definitely in the number 2 spot. In fact, it could even be the number 1. It's pretty close. So that's the EX. That's the rare there that I'm looking at now. Let's go back. So it has a takeaway as well, which can bring your opponent's figure to your PC. Really, really useful. So Steelix, number 2, but number 1 is a figure that is getting a lot of use right now. Rhyperior. This thing is insane. It's got a bulldozer which lets you take your opponent's spot and push them one step back. So you can basically rush this thing in and just take the goal. It also can move 2 spaces if it's in a straight line. And that Rock Wrecker, it can knock any of your opponent's figures out within 2 steps. And if it's using long barrel, that can be extended to 3 steps. Really awesome. Its Rock Blast can deal 100 times damage, so potentially you could hit 200 or more with that. So it's a really, really powerful Pokemon, and it's great for some cheese wins. It also has the ground Z move, which knocks any figure out. It's a really, really powerful Z move there too. So Rhyperior is our number 1 pick, but let me know, do you agree? What are your thoughts? Would you change anything in there? But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Don't forget to like the channel, subscribe as well. I'm going to be doing some really cool stuff. I'm going to be away for a trip. I'm actually away at the moment. Well, I will be. You'll be seeing this in the future. But when I get back, I'm going to be doing some crazy stuff. We've got a challenge that I'm going to be doing where I take on the 4th hottest chili sauce in the world. Take that, Giggity Gaming and your jalapenos. But that's going to do it for this one. So don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you in the next episode. This is Rocket Rob blasting off again.